Sometimes you hear about a book, maybe a friend mentions it, and they say it just completely changed how they see things.
Yeah, definitely. Those ones that really stick with you.
Exactly. Well, today we're diving into one of those, specifically how it changed the way people think about money. We're talking about Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Ah, yes. A classic in that space.
And our source material for this deep dive is actually, it's based on this great conversation we found between two friends who were really impacted by it.
Right. And our goal here isn't just to, give you a book report. We want to really unpack the core ideas, the things that make you go, huh, especially how it challenges, well, a lot of the standard advice about money most of us probably grew up hearing.
Okay.
We're trying to give you the shortcut, basically. The key takeaways that make this book such a starting point for so many people looking at financial independence.
Makes sense. So let's get right into it then. The friends in our source, they really focused on the core story, right? Kiyosaki's two dads.
Mm-hmm.
Can you break that down? Why is that comparison so central to the whole thing?
Well, it's clever because he uses his own life story to explain these sometimes complex financial concepts. It's very personal. So the poor dad, that was his actual biological father. Highly educated, PhD, government job, but financially always seemed to be struggling.
Okay, the smart guy who wasn't rich.
Pretty much. And then there's the rich dad. Now, this was his best friend's father. Didn't even finish high school, I think.
Right, a dropout.
Yeah, but he was apparently a very sharp businessman and investor. Built wealth.
And telling it through his own eyes, his own childhood experiences, that must make it feel less like a lecture and more, relatable.
Oh, absolutely. That's key.
Yeah.
That personal angle is why I think it resonates so much. It's not just abstract theory.
Yeah.
And the core difference he highlights between them, it wasn't education level, not really. It was their fundamental philosophy about money.
How so?
Well, his poor dad, the educated one, preached the path we mostly hear about. Go to school, get good grades, find a safe, secure job, work hard for your paycheck, climb the ladder.
The standard playbook.
Exactly. But the rich dad taught him something quite different. He taught him to make money work for him.
Okay, what does that actually mean, though? Make money work for you?
It means focusing on acquiring assets. And this is crucial. Assets, in Kiyosaki's definition, are things that put money into your pocket. Think rental properties, bringing in rent, stocks, paying dividends, a business generating profit.
Right.
As opposed to liabilities, which are things that take money out of your pocket, like maybe a fancy car with big payments and insurance, or just stuff you buy that loses value.
That distinction does feel really important. Assets put money in, liabilities take it out. Simple but powerful.
It really is. It forces you to look at your spending and your financial life in a completely different way.
So, if the poor dad way is the norm, what's the biggest concept from the rich dad side that really challenges people's everyday routine? The friends mention something specific.
Yeah. Probably the most famous idea from the book, the rat race.
The rat race. Okay, tell us about that.
It's the idea that most people are essentially stuck. They work hard at a job to earn a paycheck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that paycheck immediately goes out to pay bills, mortgage or rent, car payments, credit cards, living expenses.
Sure, the usual cycle.
Exactly. And then they're back to needing the next paycheck. So they're running and running on this kind of financial hamster wheel, working harder, maybe getting small raises, but never actually building real wealth or getting ahead.
Yeah.
They're trapped in this cycle.
Just working to pay bills, basically.
That's the essence of it. And the book is really a call to action, saying, hey, wake up. You need to find a way off this wheel.
Okay, so how, if you're stuck in that cycle, just earning a paycheck to cover expenses, how does the book say you actually break free? What are the practical steps?
Well, it loops back to that asset versus liability thing.
Yeah.
The way out isn't necessarily just earning a bigger paycheck in the rat race.
Right, because more income often just leads to more spending, bigger liabilities.
Precisely. Kiyosaki argues the real escape comes from changing how you use the money you do have. It's about financial literacy, understanding money. So he strongly pushes investing, specifically investing in those income-generating assets we talked about.
Like the real estate, stocks.
Yeah, real estate that provides rental income, stocks, maybe bonds, mutual funds, even starting your own side business or eventually a full business, something that creates a stream of income separate from your job.
So it's less about just earning more from your boss and more about taking what you have and making it earn more for you.
That's the absolute core message. It's shifting from being purely an employee, working for money, to becoming, at least in part, an investor or business owner where your money or your system is working for you.
Yeah, I can see why the friends we listened to called it a real eye-opener. It reframes the whole goal, and they said it felt like a really good starting point for anyone just beginning to think about financial independence.
I think that's fair.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily a detailed how-to manual for every investment, but it's powerful for shifting your mindset, which is often the first and maybe hardest step.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it really comes back to that fundamental question Kiyosaki poses, doesn't it? Think about your own situation. Are you primarily just working for money? Or are you actively finding ways to make your money work for you?
And maybe we can push that thought a little further for you listening. If Kiyosaki's rat race is this cycle of working just to pay bills, and his answer is acquiring income-generating assets to break free, well, it raises an interesting question.
Okay.
Think beyond just money for a second. What other kinds of rat races, habitual, maybe unfulfilling cycles, might you be caught up in your life? Could be in your career, your habits, maybe even relationships.
Huh. Okay, broadening the idea.
Yeah. And if there are other cycles you feel stuck in, what might the equivalent of assets be in those areas? What knowledge or skills or maybe connections or systems could you develop or acquire to help you break free from those particular cycles?
That's a really interesting way to frame it. Taking that core financial idea and applying it much more broadly, definitely something to chew on.